It's Kayla with the Celebration Company. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're having a great day. I am glad to see you all today. We are going to make a little sign. I am preparing for Pinners Conference, and I have gone live a couple of times with our craft paper subscription to make things for the craft paper subscription in order to display it at the Pinners Conference. And so that's what I'm doing today. We are going to make a cute little cow sign. We're going to be using this little image right here. And we'll use just one of our 6x6 wooden canvases to do that. By the way, I did not send out a text message because I can't get my texting platform to pull up. For some reason, the website will just not come up. So I did not send out a text if you're wondering. I'm hoping people still get the notifications from Facebook because it's just not working no matter what I do. So we're just going with it. All right. So I hope y'all are having a great day. Thanks for celebrating, y'all. Hello, Danae. My Friday's going pretty well so far. Looking forward to the weekend. Really glad that tomorrow is Saturday. So looking forward to it very much. What about you all? What do y'all have going on? Let me really quick just pull this up. We're just gonna do a simple craft today. Nothing complicated. Thanks for the stars, Michelle. Well, Debbie, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that I'm not one of those that you're not getting notifications from, but I'm sorry that you're not getting notifications from others. I don't know why, but I'm glad things are working here. Hi, Sally. Hey, Bonnie. Happy Friday. Hi, Cheryl. I'm glad to see you too. Thank you for joining me today. So, if you've missed some of the previous lives, I went live yesterday, and I think I went live even maybe the day before, and have done some things for the Pinners Conference. Hello, Allie over on YouTube. Oh, fun, Jamie. We have a wedding to go to as well, and I'm really excited as well. I love going to weddings too. Love going to weddings. So anyways, for the Pinners Conference, if you haven't seen me talking about it, I've been talking like crazy about it, so hopefully you have, but I never want to assume that you've heard me talk about it because sometimes you could say things 100 times and people would still miss it. So the Pinners Conference is this big, giant convention type conference that's going on in Atlanta next month, April the 25th and the 26th. And we are going as a vendor and as a presenter. So we've got a big 10 by 20 booth, and we have been just playing around with ways that we can display our craft paper subscription to give people an idea of what the craft paper subscription is, what comes with it, and what you can do with it. So we have been making these mood boards. Let me get this one and show you. Okay, so this is the mood board for this paper that I'm using today. It's called Vintage Pasture. This one Mom did. And so what I'm doing is creating on our big bookshelves that we have. I'm creating the mood board and then a couple of pieces to go with it to show how you can use the papers. Okay, so the mood board's already made, so now we just have to make a few pieces. We're going to make one right now using this paper from this collection. I did not use this specific cow on the mood board, so we're showing a little bit more variety to what is in the whole set, okay? Tomorrow, one of my great-granddaughters will be too. A party. Fun. So fun. All right, so what I'm using is our set of 3 canvases, wooden canvases. I'm going to be using the 6x6, the largest one. And I'm also going to be using the Rusty Farm Word, okay? So these are both on the celebrationcompany.com. You can grab them there. The wooden canvases are on sale right now for a really great price. They're $4.99, regular $10.99. So really great price on those. And you get 3 different sizes. So you get a 4x4, which of course you can use either side. A 5x5, again, you can use either side, and then a 6x6. Okay, so these are great to use for making signs. You can make little risers with these. You can do little trays with them. They're just really great for lots of different things. So we're going to be using the front, this side, not the framed side, to make our little project here today. Hi, Tina. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is grab our decoupage glue because we're going to be decoupaging paper all over this sign. So I'm going to start with my cow. And what I'm thinking is that I'm just going to line it up here. I think I might actually bring it down a little bit. So I get all of the sunflowers and I miss some of the bottom of the cow. I think it's going to be the best thing. And I'm just going to kind of make a crease here so that I know where to glue it down. Okay. And then I'm just going to grab my DecoArt decoupage glue, which is available also at celebrationcompany.com. And a pouncer. Also, you guessed it, from celebrationcompany.com. Little pink pouncers. All right. So we're just going to grab some glue and do a nice thin layer of decoupage glue. This is why I really like to use the pouncers when I'm applying my decoupage glue, because it really does help to get a really nice thin layer. And then we're just going to lay this on. Glue it down. I'm going to use one of my, let me get a clean one. One of my Celebration Company scrapers and smooth that down. Make sure it's nice and smooth. Okay. Then I like to sheet a little bit sometimes, especially when I'm doing things like this that have nice straight edges. And I just take a sharp utility knife and just remove the excess with the knife. It just is a little bit easier. And then you can just go back through and clean it up if you need to with your sander. But that just makes it really nice and easy. Okay, and you get these nice clean edges. That looks really pretty. I like that. Now we're gonna do the edges as well. And I'm gonna be using this blue polka dot that is in this set also. So we're just gonna grab some more glue and I'm just gonna go one side at a time. We'll just start. Just line that up. You don't have to line it up perfectly because you can always remove the excess. It's Friday. Yes. So glad it's Friday. All right. So I'm just going to lay that down like that. And just take my knife. Cut off the excess. You can do the same thing on the front side. And then we've just got this nice edge. Look at that. Really easy. And we're going to repeat that process on all 4 sides. So y'all, we were talking yesterday about the brackets. I'm not doing real well so far. Andrew lost a Final Four team though, but he didn't lose very many other games in the first round. I lost 6 in the first round. So I'm not doing real good. I am banking on keeping all my Final Fours. But Griffin and I both have the team St. John's going into the Final Four, which I've never even heard of them. So, putting a lot of faith in them. And I can't remember who else I have in the Final Four, so we'll see. And when you're doing this, having a really nice sharp knife is going to make all the difference for you. So you want to make sure your knife is nice and sharp, and you're going to be able to do a much better job. I can't remember where I put Kentucky, honestly. It's a lot to remember. I don't know how people remember like what they pick because it's a lot. Oh, fun, Tina. Brenda, the paper with the cow came from our craft paper subscription. This design is a previous month's design, unfortunately. However, I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you all this or not, but we are opening up the vault, and we're going to start allowing the purchase of previous month designs if you were not a subscriber. So eventually it will be available for $10. Like I said, I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you all that. So if I'm not, then act like you don't know anything, okay? But that is coming. Okay. All right, last side. This is looking really good, so you can kind of just see how that's looking. Okay. Let's get the last little bit here. And remove our excess. Okay, there we go. So here is what it's looking like with our pretty paper on the outside edges. All right, I'm going to take my sander now and just clean up any areas that I feel like need a little cleaning up. And I may have to go back over it with some more decoupage glue in spots that aren't sticking real well. So I'm just going to kind of use my fingers to just sort of rub that down. And then we're going to go over this with some distressing, of course. These corners are the worst. They don't want to stay down. 4 teams isn't bad, Tina. I think Andrew in his first round, I'm losing. So altogether, I've lost 7. But the boys have lost 6 altogether. But in the first round, Andrew only lost like 3. But one of the teams he had going to the Final Four is out. They lost in the first round. So that helped a lot. Oh, yay, Jamie. That's awesome. I'm glad you like it. Okay, so let's grab our little distress. I'm going to go with Walnut Stain and Vintage Photo. Let's see what we like. I'm going to start with Vintage Photo. Just rubbing this right on the edges. I didn't want to seal everything with decoupage glue because then the distress ink won't stick as well. But if you don't have distress ink, you can also just use your raw umber or your burnt umber. So I'm just really going over the seams right now. It is, Tina. Which I was really glad he lost because I'm really worried. I'm still banking on a couple of upsets. Last year there were so many upsets, you know, so I'm like, maybe there will be some upsets this year too. Okay, so that's what that looks like. I am now going to just go up on to the edges a little bit more. To get a little bit more distressing around the edges. You can kind of just see the shading that does around those edges. Yeah, Teresa, we're talking about the March Madness. Normally, I wouldn't have anything to say about it, but Andrew decided he thought it would be fun for the 3 of us, me, Andrew, and Griffin, to fill out brackets, and we all wagered something. So each of us gets something if we win. And I get 8 hours of them doing chores and sushi for dinner. Okay, so this is where we're at right now with the Vintage Photo. I am going to go over the edges a little bit more with the walnut stain just to darken the edges. I have found that as the Vintage Photo dries, it does lighten just a little bit. So I'm going over the edges with the walnut stain. Just the edges. And this is looking beautiful. I just love that look with that ink on there. Okay, here we go. So this is what it looks like. Already so beautiful. We could stop right here. Okay, so I'm going to take the Rusty Farm, and I think we're just going to add it on. I was thinking about just putting it right down here at the bottom left, just to really drive home that vintage look. So, because this is going to be traveling with me, I'm going to use some super glue and some hot glue. So we're just going to add a few dots of super glue to help hold it on, because it's going to be traveling. I am planning to bring glue with me, but you know, anything we can do to protect. All right, so just did some dots of glue. Hopefully they will last long enough for me to stick this down, because I don't think the hot glue did. That's what hot glue does. It just, like, when you put it on metal, it turns to nothing. It just hardens so fast. I'm going to turn my heat gun on, see if I can warm up the glue to stick it down. I'm warming up the metal. That worked. No, definitely worked on that side. Let me get this side. Okay. Here it is, Irene. This is what we made. Just a simple little sign to go with one of our craft paper designs that we are displaying at Pinners. So this is the mood board, and then this is one of the signs we'll put with it. I'll still need to make another one or two, but we'll put this one with it. So that'll be really cute. And it just kind of shows, this is the craft paper that comes in a set, so you can see the variety that you're getting, that it's not just craft paper, but you're also getting lots of images that you can use for signs and for embellishing and all of that. But then this is how you can use those. So it's just giving you that kind of whole picture on it of what all you can do. Thank you, Irene. Thank you, Teresa. And so I don't really think it needs anything else. You know, you could add like a ribbon hanger on it if you wanted to. I don't think it needs it. I think it's really great just as it is. I think it's adorable. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I know this was a short, simple little project, but it is Friday and I've got company coming over, so I gotta get upstairs and get ready for my company. But I hope you all enjoyed this one. I'll see you guys back here on Monday. Have a really great weekend, y'all, and I hope that you'll check out the Pinners Conference. It's gonna be a blast, and I'd love to get to meet you there. So see y'all soon.